Hey everyone, welcome back to This Old Trike. We are out in the shop with the newly acquired 350X's and 250R over there behind me, over my shoulder. We're going to get out the shop vac tonight and some fresh gas and try to get one or two of these to pop over and see how they run. So join me and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to get this turned around and we'll go from there. I'm going to start with this one. It's as good as any of them, I think, to start on. So these have the, this one has the old school matte finish Meyer fenders that mimic OEM in this regard. Meyer fenders do not allow you to reuse your existing mud flap if you still have that. They use a thermal forming process to mold their fenders, not an injection molding process like Honda did. So it limits what Meyer's able to do. But honestly, they're the best replacement product available, short of somebody spending literally $100,000+ just on molds, let alone the injection molders to do that. You're not going to find a better product than Meyer. Granted, those are old, but the new Meyer fenders are pretty amazing. So this is great. This is outstanding for what you want to see when you open up your airbox. This is bad news. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a critter crawl out of there. So let's get the vacuum and see what happens. Okay, I've got my trusty shop vac over here. I use a vortex to help separate my solids and dust from my air filter, so that gets me a little extra life. I have that from my woodworking background, but I'll record this so we can see what happens. Might have to mute things because this might be loud. So this is mildly heartbreaking, not really, but that is an OEM filter that was probably long shot and needed to be replaced anyway. But these come with the filter cage. It's wet. It's breaking right. Oh, that's not an OEM filter. It's a Moose. So we're not sad about that. I'm gonna set this over somewhere. Right there's as good a place as any. So that wasn't an OEM. That's good. All right, I'm going to take the rest of that rubber boot off and take the tank out and check for spark. Let me get my camera set up. Okay. A handy way to check for spark, and a good practice to use, is to always have some extra spark plugs on hand. So this is a DR8ESL. These are the spark plugs you need for 350X's, Big Red 250ES's, 250SX's. Geez, what else? I'm struggling to come up with something. I have a list that I will throw up on the screen to help show what spark plugs go to what machines. But instead of pulling out the plug that's in this right now, if you're in a pinch, if you're in a hurry and you just want to confirm, you just take a fresh plug and check for spark. Hold it up against the metal. Make sure you're on. I am not seeing any spark. So back here, there's a little flange down in there that should hold a voltage regulator and plug into the wiring harness right here with these two plugs. It is common for those to fail. If you have a 350X and you don't have headlights, you put fresh bulbs in, you start it up, you turn your headlights on, and immediately they go and pop. You have a bad voltage regulator. If you have one headlight on and one off, your voltage regulator is good, because nothing will work. It sends too much power and it pops your bulbs, tail light and headlight. I think I have a spare. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I gotta get over here. Let's see. Spare as I trip and fall. Spare voltage regulator. Do you see one, guys? Find the voltage regulator. I know I have one. I know I do. Spare speedometer? Nope. That's a CDI off of 200M, I think. Oh, geez, there's another speedometer. Shouldn't break that. I know I've got one. How many of you guys have played this game? I know I've got the part I'm looking for, but where could it be? Hucklebuckle beanstalk right there. I believe that is a known good one. So that's a voltage regulator off a 350X. So we got green and white. And we've got green. Oh, come on. That's for testing purposes. Green and white. All right. Does this change our spark situation? No spark. All right. So this was the previous owner's rider. Had the flat track wheels on it, so that's how I know. The airbox looks like that. So let's suck that out and check for spark on this one and maybe get this one running. Well, that was quite messy. Get this set somewhere safe. This was down in the airbox. If you didn't know what it was, you might think it's just junk. But this is the rubber grommet that goes up against your snorkel here. That makes that fit tightly against the neck of your frame, the spine of your frame, and prevents it from doing that. So that's cool to see it's still here. Let's get our spark plug. DR8ESL. So all these spark plugs look pretty new. Honestly, this one doesn't look like it's sparking either, but maybe I'm just not kicking it fast enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right to see initial fire. To do that, with no tank on, I've got gas in a soda bottle with one of these tips on it that fit right into the gas hose. So that's going to fill the bowl. The nozzle it's not tight here, so eventually it's going to stop and gas is going to come out. Right there. Okay. Let's give it a couple kicks. Switch is on. Let's cheat just a little bit. All right. Let's try it on this guy now that I'm winded. This carb isn't taking any gas. Just want to hear it pop over. Striking out. Whew. Got my heart rate going. Well, I need to take a break and catch my breath. Well, this is embarrassing. My phone is literally shaking its head at me. I don't know what it's thinking. So, neither of these two machines started. Neither appeared to have spark. So, what do we think that is? CDI? Could be. Coil? Could be. This one's got a voltage regulator at the back, but I know they'll run without a voltage regulator. So that's kind of irrelevant. So I don't have a lot of time to spend. What I think I might do is try one more. Try this one. Let me show you. All the debris at the bottom of these air boxes was wet, yucky, nasty. Okay. Airbox looks clean on this one. Voltage regulator intact. Spark plug also looks new. Newish. New enough. Just going to check with this fresh spark plug in the run position. I do not see any spark. Where's my gas bottle? This one doesn't have a fuel line on it. So I'll just go to my spare fuel line. Okay. Front forks on this one seem to be locked in place, and it's not firing. Okay, that's exciting, isn't it? How exciting. So I noticed when I climbed down this, the forks didn't compress at all. Obviously didn't start. I don't know if that's doing anything. Front brakes work. Well, maybe this one's going to be the miracle child with a Honda line hinging grab bar. I don't know. I guess I'll try it out. Might pause this. Okay, I just checked for spark. I didn't see anything. I just gassed up the carb. Let me give it a little hit of this and see if she kicks over. Oh. Well, there we have it. 1 for 4. What gives me some hope is that this one didn't appear to have spark when I was kicking it over by hand. Excuse me, I'm out of breath just a little bit. I'm also out of time, so we're half torn apart. Nobody's leaking gas on the floor, even though their carbs are full, but I guess they're not under pressure with new gas trying to get in, so I don't know if I've got sticking floats or not. But that's where I'm going to call it for tonight. Small victories. I only had about an hour time, and that was about an hour. Didn't check oil. Probably should have done that to begin with. Don't be like me. Check your oil first just to make sure you have some. Smell a little exhaust. Hey, what's up? It's following me. No, it's not. Jeez, I just said that. I think it's got me now. If I had to guess at the beginning, I would have said the one that ran was probably the most likely not to run. And I think that's why I did it last. So, that's just interesting, huh? That one looks like it could be the roughest. There you have it. I was inspired tonight by my friend MRC Builds. If you don't follow him on the old YouTube, you should. He's got a lot of cool stuff going on. Just got his first ATC 250R in 86. Why not just start with an 86 for your first 250R? That's pretty awesome. Wish I could do that. He's going to be going through that. I've got my work cut out for me here. Okay, that's where I'm calling it. I'm out of time. I'm full of ideas, but just out of time. Thank you for watching. I don't know if I'm going to end it here, but if I am, thanks for watching. Thanks for enduring my breathing. It's a good workout. You should get these, and you could work out like me and have a body like mine. Have a great night. Over and out. Okay. 2 350X's are going home with their new owner. You want to introduce yourself, sir?
I'm Brendan. And that's Andrew.
Andrew.
Came down from close to New York.
And then we have a special guest star, Donny Buysall, also known as Don Johnson from from other YouTube fame.
Are you guys each taking one for yourself, or is one of you guys taking two?
No, we'll take both and make one nice one, and then probably get rid of the other one.
Brendan's taking the two nicest ones.
I just redid 85.
Get that mud light off of there,
Gonna make a showpiece out of one and a rider out of the other. Unfortunately, I can't help lift today. I'm too busy recording. As you can see, winter has landed here in upstate New York. This is the real upstate New York. This isn't Poughkeepsie. This is north of the Thruway.
More like over the both. I just hit a 85 and it was really clean. But
So that's one of the Boy Scout bikes going to a new home. Palin, how does this make you feel?
Great.
Great.
That makes me feel bad.
Well, we can't keep them all, honey.
I just
These need to be sunk in a mud hole somewhere. That's what they were designed for and built for. These are way too clean. Now you need to promise me that when you get this all restored nice, you got to sink it in the biggest, baddest mud hole. 'Cause
yeah.
obviously,
Grass, that's it.
according to the internet, this is what they were built for.
You need a rear sprocket this big.
Yep. I know somebody can make one for you. But that's all for now. Over and out. And there they go. On to a new home. We'll see how good his backing up job is. It looks like he's doing all right. If you need some Cooper tires, see somebody that sells them, because I don't. Buy 350X's. What's up, John?
Hi, Preston.
I do like the name Don Johnson,
Yeah, it's got a good ring
as
to it.
as coined by Harvey Spooner.
Harvey Spooner's the most famous guy in the world.
Or is it Harley Spooner? Harley Forker?
It's Harley Forker.
So here we are at this old trike talking about Harley Forker. So what do you think of this this 350X we dragged home? This is one of the infamous Boy Scout bikes. This is probably the ugliest of the batch.
I think it has potential.
It has potential.
To run and operate.
So we didn't get this one running the other night, or I didn't get it running the other night, but who am I? I'm just a guy.
And we're at 4 out of 4 with good left up mounts, which is awesome. So they didn't get abused too bad.
4 out of 4 what?
4 out of 4 good left up mounts,
Yes.
which is important.
So we do have some space in here because 2 just left. Oh, my daughter's got a mouthful of goodies.
Let's see what we can do in a couple hours, see if we can have it purring or not.
I was impressed by the completeness of these. Obviously, the grab bar has seen better days.
They are pretty complete.
The fork boots are a little atrocious. Front tire is not holding air, even though it's got decent tread. If that were holding air, I would keep it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sucks.
The handlebars are no bueno.
They are, yeah.
They got more waves than the ocean.
I think the Boy Scouts tipped her a few times.
The engine cases have that blue look. I'm pretty sure they must have done that on finger paint day. I don't know.
What were you talking about?
See how the engine looks blue?
You know, it does kind of have bluish hue, but I don't know. I don't think it's been painted.
Maybe a little magic eraser might.
Just because it's here more than anywhere else, in my opinion. And then you got full rub right there from people shifting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it started to get into the paint here, but not completely. and I think it's just worn a little bit of it away. And then oxidation and UV.
You're like a Trike Detective.
Am I? I'm the Sherlock.
You're like
Holmes.
doing a forensic examination of this 350X.
3-wheelers. Professor Moriarty.
So maybe we'll put this on pause and
Yeah, we'll see if we can
see what can happen. All right, over and out. Great job, guys. Okay. The carb has come out. We did hear it fire momentarily after we poured some gas down the cylinder and put a fresh spark plug in it. Where'd the spark plug go that came out of it?
Oh, the D7EA?
Yeah.
I think it's on the counter. Kudos to whoever can tell what that came off of. Bonus points.
D7EA. I know
the
D8EAs are like big red 200ES plugs.
Are they?
As well as that's one of the recommended plugs. But that's what came out of this, so that could be a factor. The bars were shot, so I threw on these spares I had that actually came off that machine, these blue Moose bars from the 90s. We're waiting for...
Look at this tow bar.
That's the Boy Scout locking mechanism. But what I thought was a blue paint on the motor looks out just to be like oxidation that looked blue in the light.
It's oxidation, moisture, UV kind of combined.
But this is just an update. After we get the carb rebuilt, we'll pop that back in and you guys can share the victory with us as we watch it warm up and run nice. Uh-oh. Palin's getting corrected over there.
Probably not. Don't worry.
All right, we'll be back. John, what can you tell us? What'd you do?
So this carb sat forever with water and sediment in it. It had a lot of corrosion. The fuel inlet was clogged. The fuel line was clogged. The vent lines for the fuel needle were clogged. The slide was getting stuck when you pull the throttle at top. It literally would not get gas in the bowl. So it's been completely taken apart. It's been serviced. I cannot guarantee that it's going to run. They had fiddled with the throttle, and it's stuck. The screw is a little stuck. So we're just gonna go for it.
Do we need to put the throttle back on the handlebar for you real quick?
No. Actually, let's kill switch.
Is it on run?
I mean, it should have never been off. But... There's no decomp either. I just kick like Liu Kang. And wrench like him too. Alright, I'll put something. Okay.
Oh yeah.
No trouble. We're about there.
All right, we'll throw the throttle on while he does his last adjustments and come back at you.
Gonna be a good runner.
Here we go. Hit it, John. There it is. Little smoke, little puff of smoke.
Yeah, it needs to clean itself up.
Yep. Sitting a long time.
It's not good compression. Good place.
I think I owe John a steak dinner.
This is my favorite.
Look at the smile. That's why I let John work on my stuff, to get the smile. Well, there you have it.
I spent 2 hours on that car.
You did.
It was really nasty.
It was bad.
It's fun on like a camp right now.
Excellent. So that ends our work on the now running machine. I threw a grab bar on this. That is a lot better than the hinge grab bar that we had. Some PV 701s on the back that are used, but they're aluminum rims, so this thing's looking better by the minute. We're going to leave the Meyer fenders on it, but I've got some fork boots on the way. This thing needs a little love. John is packing up. Let me flip this around. From the crew here in the shop tonight, Palin, got to get in the shot. Got to get in the shot. Thanks for watching.
The hat crew.
The Hat Crew, Honda Hoarder, and Teddy Bear Central.
Yes.
Ralph
Shot
Lauren.
myself in the face with carb spray.
Don't do that. He was out of commission for at least 2.5 minutes.
It was horrible.
We had a good time. We don't get enough of these times. Palin agrees.
Yeah, Palin wanted me back next week.
Yeah.
Next week we got something special. Maybe we'll get you a little video where we're going to be next week, but we're not going to mention where that is. So, again, we appreciate every one of you, and make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next adventures of Don Johnson, also known as Dr. John,
Yeah.
Donny Buysall,
Me.
Pepe.
Bye, guys.
What are all your nicknames, John? We'll save some for later.
Dr. Handsome.
Donny buys a lot.
Just Donny Buysall is it.
Okay. Catch you later.